So welcome everyone. I'm excited for you. Um, Here, let me go mute everybody because we have a bunch of naughty unmuters out there. Let me see, mute all. All right. So with that, welcome everyone. We're excited for you to be here today. So where you can get the nuggets and the pieces to the puzzle to go out there and create the life and basically the life of your dreams. It's funny. I get on training still. In fact, I was listening to a training on the way. I'm driving up to meet some friends right now. And basically, I'm listening to a personal development training. And you'll hear Jerry talk a lot about, working on yourself and basically the personal development that happens and changing. And I will be on this training. I'm going to be taking, because I'm driving, mental notes. But guys, I get on training after training after training after training because every training is like opening up the next combination to the lock of your dreams, right? And if you turn that combination lock, you turn it left, you turn it right, you turn it left, and every time, if you miss that number, you'll get close, but you're not exactly where you are. And what I can share with you is when you get different little nuggets, it's like another combination, another key to getting into the next door of your dreams. So with that being said, guys, I'm excited for you because Jerry has not only had success in other companies, but came over here and it just totally rocking it out in a very short amount of time, making things happen. So what he's going to be sharing is not theory. It's not, well, I think so, or I think this, but it's basically things that you could use today to go out there and grow your business. So with that being said, over to you, Jerry West.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate the introduction. And I totally agree with you. One of the first things I was told when I started in this industry was to follow, look at what successful people are doing and follow what they do. But what I also learned was that not every person does things the way I would do it, So you pick bits and pieces from each person that's successful that work for you. And like Chris said, it just like, I'm still doing it today. Bits and pieces comes together as a puzzle, but it's like 1,000-piece puzzle. So it's not even finished yet. So at this point, maybe I have out of 1,000 pieces, maybe 600 or 700 of them together that I picked from all different people. So hopefully today, my goal is to not only inspire you to go out there and build your business, but hopefully you'll leave this call with a couple of things that might work for you that you can go out there and use to grow your business here with the Happy Co. So if you're new to the company, welcome to the Happy Co. You've made an awesome decision. It's the absolute perfect time in my mind to join this company because we're 3 years old. We're about to expand internationally. We just launched the new brand, the Happy Co. We have new product launches planned all year. Yahoo Finance had an article about us expanding into Asia that was shared by Ricky Durant. And it's an exciting time. I mean, there's a lot of growth ahead. And to be a part of a company that's a $100+ million company that's about to explode in growth to a $1 billion company is a wonderful time to get involved with any opportunity. So you're in the right place with the right people at the right time. And we're going to hopefully share some nuggets with you today so that you can explode your business and get as much of that $1 billion in volume as you possibly can on your team. So the first thing I wanted to share with you guys today, and I know that you've probably heard this before, but if you haven't done it yet, you want to think about why you're here. Like what is the reason that you're here today? Your why. Your why. You're going to hear people talk about your why constantly in this business and in this network marketing industry because it's so important. What's the reason that you're here today? Why did you join this company? Other than you liked the coffee or whatever results you got from the products. Why did you decide to participate in this business? Type that into the comments. What's your why? Why are you here? It's so important. You know why I'm here? You know why I got started in this industry? Because I was sick and tired of sitting in a cubicle all day long, going nowhere. I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I was tired of having all my credit cards maxed out. I was tired of never having extra money to do stuff like family vacations or having to skimp. Um, I wanted more out of life. And now that I look back, I really wanted to be a part of something too. There was part of me that was being held back, and that was not allowed to be out there in the environment that I was in. Because a lot of times when you're stuck in that cubicle workspace or workspace environment, you don't really have the creativity to be yourself. So there was just part of me that was screaming to break loose, that has now broken loose, and it can never be entrapped again. So, what's the reason you're here? I had two boys that were younger when I first started. They're 18 and 12 now, but they were 9 and 3 when I first started. I knew that I was going to have, potential college educations to pay for. I knew that we wanted to go on family vacations. I knew that we wanted a bigger house. Some of you that were on another call with me last week know that back when I first started in this industry, or before that, I was in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom ranch with my wife, my 2 boys, and 4 cats, 900 square feet. And if you're a mom or a wife or a grandma, that like having all those boys around in that confined space is going to drive you crazy, right? So we were just like, you couldn't get away from each other. We wanted a bigger house. We wanted a nicer car. And I just knew that the current situation that I was in, if I kept going down the same path I was going, which was waking up in the morning, commuting to work, sitting in a cubicle all day, watching the clock, coming home, going to sleep, doing the same thing over and over and over and over again for like a decade of my life. You know what I mean? If I kept going down that same path, I knew that it wasn't going to get me what I wanted. So that's why I got started in network marketing, because somebody showed me a different way and I took a look at it and I said, you know what? I don't know if I can do it. I don't know how it works, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I see a way to get my life back. I see a way to achieve my why. And I don't care how long it takes. I mean, at the time I was 39 years old. So I even said to myself, even if it took me, and I see, I see people leave this industry after a month or 2 months. It's crazy. And I said back then, even if it takes me 10 years to be financially free and not have to go answer to somebody else and work at a job anymore, even if it takes me 10 years, I'll still be financially free before I'm 50 years old. That's the way I looked at it, right? Because what's the other alternative? I keep going to the cubicle and I sit there until I'm 65. Who retires anymore? Nobody can really retire anymore if you're paying bills. I mean, it's not like back in the days where my grandfather worked for Grumman and he had a pension, and you work until a certain age and you can retire and you get this nice lofty retirement pension and it pays for all your bills. It doesn't work that way anymore. Social Security is not going to pay for your life. Nothing's going to pay for your life. You need a plan. You really do. So I knew that even if it took me that long, that I was willing to do it, because the other option is that I would have been working until I was in my 70s like my father, and the only reason my father's not working anymore is because he got forced out of his job. He was forced to retire. So I didn't want to be in that same situation. So I was going to do everything that I possibly could to make sure that I succeeded. And I'm telling you right now, it took me 6 years to be able to do this full time. So you really have to look at things like, okay, this is a commitment. Okay. This isn't, hey, I'm going to be a 6-figure earner and by next month. This is a commitment. This is a long-term, where do I want to be? What's my plan? And, just be realistic. Where do I want to be by the end of 2021? Where do I want to be by the end of 2022? In addition to writing your why down, you should write all your goals down with a date, because otherwise it's just a wish, right? A goal, isn't that what they say, Chris? A goal without a plan is just a wish. So you could sit there and wish all you want. And my father-in-law has a saying, and I'll try to control my French here, wish in one hand and do something else in the other and see which one fills up first. You can guess which hand is going to fill up first, right? So you have to get to work. You have to have a plan. You have to get to work. And in order to do that, you really need to have a why, and you need to have goals with dates attached to them, because otherwise, what are you doing? What are you doing? So let's go through our system here that we have. It's really simple. Anybody can do it. And I'm going to tell you this right now. When I first came into this company back in the end of October, I didn't join and say, well, I've already been successful, so I know what I'm doing. I don't have to follow the system. I'm just going to do it my own way, right? No, even though I had experience, even though I had a lot of success in my prior company, I came in and I said, tell me what your system is. I'm going to be coachable. I'm going to learn this system, and I'm going to do exactly what I'm told to do. I'm going to follow your steps and do exactly step by step what I'm told to do, because I don't know everything. The second we think we know everything, we're done, right? We're done. The second you stop learning in life, you're done. So I came in and I said, what's your system? And I was told what the system is. And that's exactly what I did. I followed the 4 steps: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all I did. People think I did something special. No, I didn't do anything special. Maybe I had more of a network at this point in my career in this industry. I had a bigger network, but I didn't do anything different than anybody else here is going to do. And it's step 1, use your product and be happy. Step 2, share your story. Step 3, point them to a tool, don't be a tool. And step 4, get them on a call. That's all I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all I still do. So let's go through these steps and talk about them a little bit. Use your product and be happy is step 1. This is so important, guys. And I know it seems like, oh, it's so easy. Why is that even a step? It goes without saying. Well, it really doesn't, because I've seen people join a company and not get any product. And you really have to be on the product and be a product of the product to be successful. Why? Well, would you recommend a restaurant to your friends that you've never eaten at? Like, oh, you've never eaten there. You don't know what the food tastes like. You don't know what the atmosphere is like. You don't know what the service is like. Would you go to your friend and say, hey, would I go, hey, Kirsten, you should really check out this restaurant. Really, how's the food? I don't know. I've never eaten there, but I heard it's really good. You can't do that. Would you recommend a movie to your friends that you didn't see? Would I go to Chris and say, hey, Chris, you really should go see this movie? And he goes, why, is it any good? And I say, well, I heard it was good. I didn't actually go see it myself, but a lot of people are telling me it's good. So I just want to recommend it to you. Is Chris going to go see that movie? No. He's going to be like, Jerry's crazy. He's out of his mind. People are not going to believe you or believe in what you say unless you're on the product and you're a product of the product. So me, myself, I don't know how many of you know this, but I had a customer account in this company before I upgraded. I was a customer first, and a lot of people here are a customer first. And one of the main reasons that I really looked at the opportunity was because of the effects that the product had, because I felt confident that I can go to somebody and say, these products work. These are the results that I'm getting. I was a product of the product before I started this business. So I had a story to tell before I started this business. It's excruciatingly important to to take the product and try as many of the products as you possibly can. That's what I do. I have every product here. I'll admit I don't have the mask because that's for women, but I don't do the mask or the skin stuff. But I have the products. I use the products every single day. I drink my coffee in the morning. I take my Xanthamax a couple hours later with food after I work out. Then I take my Liquid Sunshine now, Defense Drops. In the afternoon, I drink a Georgia peach tea or a Zest lemonade, and I'm looking forward to getting our new Zest Plus lemonade. So that's my regimen. I take the products every single day. I love the way it makes me feel. I've gotten great results from the products. It's really the best pre-workout stuff that I've ever had. Like, I love taking the coffee, drinking the coffee before I go to work out in the morning. I love taking the Xanthamax and liquid sunshine. I love how that makes me feel. And I look forward to my drink in the afternoon. And I've shaved some additional fat off my body. I share that story with people. It helps with muscle recovery too. So I can speak with conviction when I tell somebody step 2, which is share your story. I can speak with conviction because I use the products every day. I love the way they make me feel. I have results. So I'm sharing the restaurant that I went to eat at, that the atmosphere was great, the service was great, the food is awesome. People can see that in your eyes, they can hear it in the inflections in your voice when you share your story. So what are different ways to share your story with people? Excuse me. Face-to-face. Face-to-face is great. An affiliate on my team, I don't know if he's on this call, Craig Taylor, shared it with one of his coworkers. One of his coworkers saying, "Oh, I was tired," or whatever. "Oh, here, I have a sample right on me." See, that's another thing. You should always have samples on you or in your car or accessible. So in case any conversation comes up with anybody, you have a coffee stick in Xanthamax or a couple coffee sticks in Xanthamax or Max Plus pills to give to somebody, because that's exactly what he did. He said, "You need more energy? Here, take these and come talk to me in an hour." The guy took them, came back in an hour, and he's like, "Where do I buy these? I need to buy this." Get people on the product. Share your story. Always have samples on you to share with them to back that up. What's another good way to share your story? Facebook posts. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit more about social media later in the call, but when you put a Facebook post and you talk about what the product does, the results that you've gotten, people are watching. People are going to message you. When you share it in your Facebook story, the results that you've gotten from these products, people are going to message you. People are going to ask you, "What are you doing? Can you share with me?" Especially if you lost weight or you don't have anxiety anymore, or you had pain before and now you don't have pain, or you leveled off your blood sugar levels, or whatever it is that you're sharing. People are going to ask you. They are watching. So you should always be sharing your story. What's another great way to share your story? And this is a tip that I gave before, but I'm going to give it again. Inside of our testimonials group, if you haven't shared your story in there, you should take a photo of yourself and make a post inside of our testimonials group. Sorry, guys, I got this frog in my throat. I can't seem to clear it out. So the testimonials group is a great place to share your story, because you're constantly, or you should be, inviting people into that testimonials group all the time. So when your Facebook friends are in the group, they're not necessarily going to see all the posts that are in the group all the time. But when you make a post in there, it's going to pop up in their news feed. They're going to like it. They're going to make a comment on it. And as soon as they do that, Facebook's going to say, "Wow, this person wants to see posts from this Facebook group because they just interacted on this one." And now all of a sudden, all these different posts from the group are going to start popping up in their news feed. You want your story to be inside the Facebook group. And I even it's a great way to share your story again, because when I add people to the Your Daily Dose Facebook group, which is the one I'm talking about, I will tag them underneath my own testimonial. "Hey, so-and-so, this is my testimonial. Check it out." I want them to see my story. And then they'll comment on it. So the Facebook group is a great place to share your story. Let's talk about step 3. Step 3 is point them to a tool, don't be a tool. What does that mean? I tell you, when I first joined this industry and somebody would ask me about products or the opportunity, what would I do? I would just throw information up all over them. Well, there's the coffee and there's the tea and then there's this little capsule called the Xanthamax, and you could be an affiliate and refer other people. And you start throwing up information all over somebody, all of a sudden what happens? That wall goes up and they're like, "Oh, Jerry's trying to sell me something," not listening anymore. Not listening, they shut it off automatically. So how do we avoid that? We point them to a tool. And the tool that I use the most is the Facebook groups, is the Your Daily Dose Facebook group is the one that I use the absolute most. You also have the Happy Co, the app, the new updated app. You also have your websites, your customer website, thehappyco.com/your username that you could show potential customers. We have sharethehappyco.com/your username. That's a beautiful new website that goes through the opportunity that you can share with somebody. But what's the point? The point is you don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to be a scientist to know all the ingredients. You don't have to be a wizard at compensation plans and be able to explain it to somebody, because we have tools that do all the explaining for you and make it simple. So whenever somebody asks you a question, for example, when I share my story on Facebook and somebody asks, oh my goodness, what can you share with me what products you're using or what are you taking? What do I say to them? The first thing I say to them is, sure, I'll be more than happy to share it with you. I go invite them to Your Daily Dose, and I say, I just invited you to check out our testimonials and customer page. There's thousands of testimonials in there. All the product information is in there for the products that I'm taking. And as soon as you accept the invitation, I'm going to tag you under a short video that talks about what I'm doing. So that's really all I say. And if they say, well, can't you just tell me about it? Say, listen, I could sit here and tell you about it, but if, why take it from me when you can take it from 16,000+ other people that are inside a testimonials group? That's where the stories are. That's where the results are. That's where all the product explanations are. So I get them in the Facebook group. That's the first thing I do before I share any websites. I don't send anybody a link until they're inside of the Your Daily Dose Facebook group. And the second they're in there, I immediately tag them underneath the What Are Happy Beverages video, the short 2.5-minute video that's at the top in there. I immediately tag them under there. I say, so-and-so, this is how the products work. And then I go back into in their inbox and I say, I see that you made it into the Facebook group. I just tagged you under a short video that explains the products. Here's my customer website if you want to browse. And I give them my customer website. And the reason I do that is because I've actually had people make a purchase within an hour of being in that group. It's very rare. Like when you plant seeds, they don't usually grow right away. They all grow at different times. You have to water them a lot. But every once in a while, you'll get that person that wants to make a purchase and they don't know how to do it because you didn't give them your website. So they're going to go look it up online and try to figure out how to buy it, right? And that's the last thing you want them to do. So what I do is after they're in the group and I tag them under the video, I make sure that they have my customer website. So I'm pointing them to the Facebook group. That's one tool. And then I'm pointing them to the website. That's another tool. And then after I give them my site, I'm going to ask them, is there anything specific health-wise that you're looking to accomplish at this point in time? I want them to tell me. I want them to share with me what it is. Is it weight loss? Is it anxiety? Is it something else? What is it? Why? Because once they share that with me, I'm going to go back into the Your Daily Dose Facebook group and I'm going to search for whatever they just shared with me is what they're looking for. So if they're looking for, oh, I need help with depression, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to type in depression, I'm going to find testimonials and I'm going to tag them under a few. If they say, oh, I need help with weight loss, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to type in weight loss. I might even ask them first, well, how much are you looking to lose, right? If they say, oh, about 20 pounds, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to type in the number 20, and I'm going to look for people that lost 20 pounds. And if I'm talking to a 50-year-old woman, I'm not going to tag them under a 28-year-old guy that lost 20 pounds. I'm going to find people that person can relate to, and I'm going to tag them under a couple of posts that they can relate to. So if I'm talking to a guy my age, says, hey, I'm just looking for a really good pre-workout. I noticed that you exercise a lot. I'm looking for a really good pre-workout. I'm going to go into the Facebook group. I'm going to type in workout, and I'm going to find people that are working out and using the products as a pre-workout or post-workout. And I'm going to tag them under there's a few good ones in there. There really is. The social proof in that group sells the products, guys. I mean, you don't have to try to convince somebody. You don't have to try to push them to buy it, because I can tell you that almost everybody I add into that group at some point in time wants to try the products, especially if you have tagged them under something they can relate to, then they're going to try the products at some point. But you need to find out what they're looking for first. If you don't know what they're looking for, then you don't have the keys to start that car, right? They're going to, if you ask them, hey, what are you looking for health-wise? After you get them in there, then they're going to hand over the keys for you to be able to make that, let the Facebook group make it sale for you. Does that make sense? So number 4 is get them on a call. Get them on a call if they ask about the opportunity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to my upline and I'm going to schedule a Zoom call or a Facebook Messenger call or whatever kind of call they can do, or even a 3-way chat or whatever. I'm going to get them in front of another person and have that person answer questions about the business. I'm also going to share the Happy Co website with them with my username at the end, because that's a beautiful tool that you can use, that we all can use now, that explains the opportunity. So what do we get through all this? So in the Your Daily Dose Facebook group, I want to point out one more thing. If anybody asks me a question once they're in there, what are the ingredients in the Happy Coffee? I'm going to go to the coffee post and I'm going to tag their name under it. And I'm going to go back into Messenger. I'm going to say, it's a great question. I just tagged you under a post that has the ingredients, that explains what the product is, what it does, what's in it. And it has the ingredient label. How much caffeine is in your products? There's a post inside the group that shows how much caffeine is in every single product. So I'm going to go into the group, I'm going to find that post and I'm going to tag them underneath it. You can send them the picture, but I always tag them under the post. I always tag them under the post. If they say, does this product work for people that have XYZ or whatever the situation is, you know, I'm going to go into the group. I'm going to search for that. I'm going to tag them under a couple posts. Then I'm going to go back in Messenger and say, that's a great question. I just tagged you under a couple of posts that with people that are dealing with the same XYZ situation. Go into the Facebook group and read it. So why am I doing all this? Because it keeps it simple, guys. What am I teaching my prospect as I take them through this process? I'm teaching them how to do this business as I'm taking them through that process, okay? I'm teaching them that they don't have to know everything. I'm teaching them that all the answers are in a Facebook group or on a website. I'm teaching them that I don't have to explain the business because I'm just going to put you in front of somebody else that explains the business. So I'm making them see how easy and simple this system is. If you sway away from using this system and you try to do it your way and say, nope, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to explain the business. I'm going to create my own flyers. I'm going to, set up my own Facebook page and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go reinvent the wheel, right? You're going to get a prospect that says, oh my God, like, I don't want to have to explain this to somebody. I don't want to have to know a compensation plan or I have to be a scientist to know ingredients in all these products. You're making it look difficult when you do that. But when you use the tools and you follow this, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, you make it look so easy that when that person starts using the product, if they're getting great results and they have any sort of an entrepreneurial mindset whatsoever, or they start to have friends of theirs that are asking them, what are you doing? You look great, or you're in such a great mood. They're going to think to themselves, maybe I should upgrade and do the business, because why wouldn't somebody want to earn the commission if their friends are going to buy the products, right? I mean, there are people out there that don't, and that's fine. They can refer them to you. Your customers can refer them to you. But when my customer comes to me and says, I had 3 people ask me about these products, am I allowed to add them into the Facebook group? What do I do if they want to buy it? Well, that's easy. Let's upgrade your account to an affiliate account, and they can buy it from you and you can earn the commission. Who's going to say no to that? Not many people say no to money. You know what I mean? So I know we have a website training coming up in a half an hour. So I'm going to try to keep this to another few minutes, and then we'll open it up to questions. But the last couple things I want to talk about are leading with the product or the opportunity, right? I do both. Actually, when I first started, I led with the product because all I did was put people in a customer testimonials group. I put one person after another, after another, after another, after another in a customer testimonials group and put them in front of the products. And the people that ended up joining the business are the ones that raised their hand and said, hey, how does the business work? And I said, that's a great question. Let's get on a Zoom call. You know, I didn't explain to them how the business worked. I got them on a Zoom call and I let my upline explain how the business worked. So you can always lead with the product, because I could tell you this, I always want to get people on the product. I also lead with opportunity sometimes. Like if I'm reaching out to people that I know have experience in network marketing, or I know have an entrepreneurial type of mindset, or maybe I know they have a business mind, I may reach out to them about the opportunity, and I might invite them to an opportunity call, which is another tool that we do on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings. And if they're not sure if they want to do the business after that, I want to get them on the product. That's fine. You don't know if you want to do the business. Let's get you on a 30-day supply of the product. And you know, let's see what kind of results you get from the product. And after that, if they want to stay a customer, fine. I love customers. I'll take customers every day of the week. You want to be a customer for life, be a customer for life. But many people will, after they're getting really, really good results, and they realize that, hey, I'm sharing my story with other people, because that's just natural, right? When you get great results from something, you go out and you naturally share it with your friends, with your family, and people ask you, and then you realize, hey, I can earn a commission from this. A lot of people will upgrade their account. So you can either lead with the product or the opportunity, but whichever one you lead with, I always focus on, let's get this person on the product. I don't want someone sitting there for a month or 2 months thinking about whether or not they want to do the business. No, you don't know if you want to do the business yet. You need to think about it. That's perfectly fine. Let's get you a customer order in, get you a month supply of the product. And while you're thinking about it, because what's going to be really important to your decision is seeing how you like the products, seeing how they work for you. That's going to help you make your decision. I didn't realize how much stuff and how long I can talk. I write down a lot of stuff. All right. So how are you going to build this business? Many of us have full-time jobs or full-time businesses, or this is not the only thing that we do, or we have, you know, kids and soccer practices and all these things going on in our lives that are busy, right? So time management becomes one of the most important things. So I'm going to tell you right now, the way that you're really going to be consistent with this business is by blocking out time to work on your business. You have to put it in your schedule. Sit down on a Sunday evening and plan your week out. Look through the calendar in your phone and block out 30 minutes, an hour, you know, go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and schedule in your calendar when you're going to be working the business. Because if you put it on your schedule in your calendar, you're going to do it. If you don't plan anything out, then you're just kind of running around like a chicken with your head cut off, because you're like, okay, well, maybe if I have time, I'll work the business tomorrow night, right? And then tomorrow night comes and dinner's late, and then you're sitting there watching TV. It's almost 9 o'clock and you haven't worked the business yet. And you're like, oh, well, maybe tomorrow. If you put in your calendar, I am working my business Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., Tuesday from 7:30 to 8. Put it in your calendar throughout the whole week, and make sure that your phone reminds you 15 minutes in advance. It's almost time to sit down and work on your business. If you do this and you work your business with purpose, you put it in your schedule, just like your job, right? Your job has a schedule. Why wouldn't your business have a schedule? If you went and got a part-time job to make extra money instead of this, they would expect you to show up for certain hours and do work, right? Here, you don't have a boss. You have to be your own boss. So you have to make your calendar your boss and put it in your calendar and schedule the hours you're going to be working for each week. And make sure during that time you're doing income producing activities. What are income producing activities? It's reaching out to new prospects and planting a seed, sharing the business. It's reaching out, having new conversations, asking people if they drink coffee or tea, asking people if they've heard about the happy coffee everybody's talking about. And if they haven't, you invite them into a Facebook group. That's doing your business. If you're reaching out with the intention of starting a conversation to invite that person into the Your Daily Dose Facebook group, that's working your business. We have, here's one thing I want to touch on. We have all these calls, right? We have so many calls. We have 3 coffee chats every week. We have 3 business presentations every week. We have Mindset Monday. We have WhatsApp Wednesday. We have Getting Started Training Saturday. There's a lot of calls. And I always hear people ask me, where's the recording for this call? Where's the recording for that call? And what I tell people is this. I say, if there's nothing wrong with wanting to watch the recording of a coffee chat that you missed, or a training that you missed, or a presentation that you missed. But here's the thing. Nobody can make every call, right? We're busy. I can't make every call. So if you miss a call, it's fine. I would rather somebody in my team spend an hour doing income producing activities, inviting people to the Facebook group, than to sit down and spend an hour watching a coffee chat that they missed. Because that's what's going to grow their business. So make whatever calls that you can, plug in as much as you can. I mean, don't get me wrong, plugging in to all these calls is important. But if you miss one, don't worry about it. You don't have to watch the replay. Take that 60 minutes worth of time and work your business with intention. You know, purposefully work your business. Because so many of us spend time watching replays and we feel like, okay, I got to do this training. Now I got to rewatch this one that I missed. And then before you know it, we spent 2 hours watching a trainings and we didn't do anything to help grow our business. We didn't do anything to put a paycheck into our back office. And that's the most important thing, is getting paid, right? Sharing the opportunity with people and getting paid. So my advice is, when it comes to the calls, just if you miss one, get on the next one. Spend that time working on your business. And lastly, please work on your mindset every day for 20 to 30 minutes. Read a book, listen to an audio. This is working on your mindset right here. Get on a training, get on a call. Here's what I do. My car is Automobile University. So whenever I'm in my car, driving my son to school, picking my son up from school, going to the grocery store, going wherever, when you're driving to work, when you're driving home from work, instead of listening to the news or the radio, music, don't listen to the news. You don't want to do that. That's going to ruin your mindset. Listen to an audiobook, listen to personal development. You know what I've been doing lately? I got on Clubhouse and I'll open up a room about mindset, or I'll open up a room about network marketing, or I'll open up a room about building your future or something positive, and I'll listen to a Clubhouse room while I'm driving. Podcasts. Find stuff that you can listen to if there's so much time during the day that we don't even realize that we could be actually doing personal development where we're not doing personal development. So what I've done is I've taken time that I'm doing something else anyway, and I've turned it into personal development time. Why waste that time that you're going to be in your car when you could be working on your mindset? You don't need to really say, okay, I'm going to sit down here for 30 minutes and I'm going to read a book. You could do that if you want to, if you put it in your schedule. But if you feel like, oh my goodness, I don't have time, just find times during the day that you're doing something else and double it up with personal development time. How about when you're exercising? When you're exercising, you can put earbuds in, you can listen to a personal development book or an audio or a training or something while you're working out. Do 2 things at the same time. So that's really how I learned to fit personal development into my day. I didn't make additional time for it. I brought it into something else I was already doing. And once you get in that habit, it's hard to change it, because I'm going to tell you one thing: you have to be bulletproof in this industry, because you're going to run into naysayers, you're going to run into crabby people. It's not immediate gratification. It's a lot of work. So in order to persevere through all of that, the one thing that's gotten me through that is working on my mindset every day. So with that, I'll open it up to questions, because I know we have website training coming up. Does anybody have a question? If you do, I guess just raise your hand in the Zoom so I can see if anybody has a question for me. I don't see any hands up at this time. Well, somebody does. Bonnie Hartley.
Hey, Terry West, good morning. What an awesome, awesome training.
Well, thank you.
My question is, what are you doing when somebody doesn't, I was just on with a highly influential guy, 2 days ago, invited him to our Facebook page, just refuses to accept, says he will, then he doesn't. What are you doing when people aren't accepting your Facebook page and you're making that the step that has to happen before you share your website?
Well, I'm going to follow up with them within 24 hours. If I invited them and they said they would go into the group, and eventually I'm just going to ask them. I don't like to play games with people. I'm just going to send them a voice message and say, hey, Bob, listen, I noticed you haven't accepted the invite to the Facebook group. Is there any reason that you're ignoring the invitation? Do you not like Facebook groups? Are you afraid that I'm going to shout you out or something? Or, it's just a Facebook group. If you don't like it, you can easily leave by clicking a button that says leave. And I'm just going to see what they say. Because I don't know. I've learned not to hold back. I'm going to call people out, and I'm just going to ask them straight out why they haven't accepted it. That's all. And if they don't accept it, then guess what? Next, because not everybody is going to accept it. I've invited a lot of people to the Facebook group that haven't accepted it. I've followed up with them. They still haven't accepted it. And that's it. Eventually they might, because they're still watching my stories. They're still watching my Facebook. I'm still making sure I water that seed, and I'm going back and commenting on their posts. I'm going back and I'm commenting on their Facebook story. So they know they were invited to the group. They know they didn't accept it. But you know what? At the end of the day, you can't force somebody to accept an invitation to a Facebook group. So you just have to move on. But I would just ask, hey, is there any reason why you haven't accepted it? Maybe there's something, some people have problems with Facebook groups. They don't want to go in there. Or they're afraid you're gonna make a post, or they're gonna be exposed or something. You just have to make them feel more at ease. And if they still don't take it, then they still don't take it. Hey, Pete, what's up?
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, I'm a bus driver, and I'm trying to get retired in 3 years. And everyone I'm with drinks coffee. So I'm out there sharing the product, and I want to know what to do when you share the product, share your story, connect with them to a group, and then my follow up is, hey, how you doing today? How was the coffee? And I get these responses of, oh, a couple of them, well, it's still on my car, and oh yeah, I got it at home, it's on the counter. It's like, okay, hey, no problem. Well, I'll see you later, because we're coming and going. And then a couple days later, I'll ask them, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to it. So I guess the real bottom line question is, how can you follow up kind of without being pushy, without, because I let it go a lot, but I want them to have the experience, and I don't want to be pushy. They have the product, they got the link, they got everything, but they're, like you say, life happens. They got their family to deal with and all that. So that's where I'm stuck at is they know me, I get along with them well, but it's like, okay, let it go. They got the product, they got everything they need. How do I be encouraging? Yeah, I guess that would be, how would I be encouraging without being pushy?
Well, I think you have to find a way to make it about them instead of have you tried this product yet? Why am I trying this product? Because Pete wants me to try it, right?
All right.
What if their reason for trying it becomes something else? So earlier I said something about asking people or finding out from somebody what kind of health issues they might be looking for help with. Do they need to lose weight,
Right.
have anxiety, whatever. So if you can find a way to get that information and have them hand the keys over to you, then you might be able to share some testimonials with them, whether they're in the group and you tag them underneath it, or whether you screenshot it, testimonials, and you send it to them. That's another thing you could do, Bonnie, is if you know what that person might be looking for, if they won't accept the invitation to the group, find the testimonials and screenshot them and send it to them. Say, hey, if you're not going to go into the group, here's the testimonials. I screenshot them for you. But if you can make it about them and they realize, okay, if I try this product, I might be able to get something that I want, which is to lose weight, which is to have less anxiety, which is to have more energy, or whatever it is, then they might be more apt to try the product, because now they're doing it for them. Now they're doing it for their own reason. And if they still don't try it, they don't try it. I mean, I have people that I gave samples to that still haven't tried it.
All right, thanks.
That's just, that's just one thing. Maybe I would try to get more information from them as
Yeah.
when you're handing the sample over, though, not like 2 weeks after you gave it to them, they still haven't tried it. You have to find out, when you're handing it over, what their pain point is, and then touch on their pain point. Well, you haven't tried the sample yet. I thought you wanted to lose weight. I thought you wanted more energy. This is going to help you with that.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Kim,
Hey there, how are you? Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, so I spent all morning on Instagram trying to make an online store, and then I uploaded all the pictures and the categories and the prices, was pending approval, and of course I got declined. And I think it's because it's under the beverage supplement vitamin. Is that correct?
Well, Kim, I can tell you that I don't know anything about Instagram. Sorry. But why are you setting up an online store, though?
Well,
that's
I made my own Instagram account with a video, and then I was promoting the Happy Company and the products and just personalizing it. And you get a chance to tag your products, I guess. And so, of course, I was experimenting and learning, and one thing led to another. And what it comes down to, I basically just think you can't sell those types of products on Instagram. But I was just curious if there was a backdoor or a wraparound or something, but probably not.
Well, I do know a lot of social media sites don't like network marketing products being advertised or sold. So that could be it. But one thing I'm going to say is that I don't want everyone on here thinking you have to set up an online store. Like to do this business, I'll tell you something. Like I don't have an online store. I don't have business cards. I just follow steps 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's no step in here that says, step 3.5, set up an online store or set up your own Facebook page or business page, or you don't have to do any of that stuff to build this business. Because I think what's going to end up happening is when you sponsor somebody, they're going to want to do what you do, right? So now they're saying, oh, well, Kim set up her own online store, so now I have to set up my own online store. What you want to do is try to keep it simpler and just use the tools that are already provided by the company. And that's all I do, and that's all I teach. I use the tools that are provided by the company. I don't create my own websites. I don't create my own Facebook business pages. I don't go out and design my own flyers. I use what was given to me when I came in. And the reason for that is I want anybody else coming in to be able to duplicate what I do. So I'm not doing anything that's difficult for somebody.
Awesome feedback. I approve of this message and wish I heard this before I started 2 hours worth of work. Thank you, Mr. Jerry.
You're welcome. Susie, what's up?
Jerry, golden nuggets, my friend, golden nuggets. I love it. The one thing, Kim, that you can do on Instagram, which I've sort of been toying around with, is if your Instagram is professional, which mine is, you can do your post happy everything, because I post everything from Instagram and it goes right to Facebook stories and such. You can promote your post if you're in a professional Instagram. Don't do a store, save yourself the hassle. And I'm sorry you went through all that work. Just switch it to professional and then hit promote. And you can pick the areas where you want to promote. Every day on Instagram, I'm like, well, they're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're direct sales. So hit promote, and that's all you have to do. And then all of a sudden you have people in your inbox, you have people making comments. So that's part of making posts. You're just hitting you're hitting a bigger share button per se. So that's what I would suggest. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Susie.
Super helpful.
Yeah,
Thank you so
no
much.
problem.
And I'm going to utilize the promote button. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Kim, feel free to message me. I will help you. No problem.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
All right, we're coming up on the website training, so I'm going to go to Wenrella Wendy real quick, and then we'll wrap this call up so that we can get on the website training.
Hey, Jerry, thanks. Listen, I love your face. You are just so awesome at this training. My question to you is, I have a lot of fear with things, and I just wanted to know if you ever had fear and how you overcame the fear, and what was the fear doing this kind of business?
So yes, and I mean, I I still feel it, but I act in spite of it. So my fears were, when I first started, other people would think I'm stupid because I'm doing some, trying to sell some product or something, or why, inferiority, thinking, oh, this person, I used to not really have a good image of myself. So, I would see other people as why would this person be interested in my opportunity? They're have a nice house and they have their own business. They're driving a BMW, just like fear of sharing it with people because maybe they would think I'm stupid, or not being confident in what I'm saying, because, I really didn't know what I was doing when I first started. Of course, my wife's trying to call me while I'm on a call. So just fear of talking to people, really, in general, is what I had. But what I learned was this, is that feeling that you get, that like butterflies in your stomach. So let's paint the scenario. Okay, you're at the grocery store, you're having a conversation with somebody, one of the pain points come up, and you think to yourself, oh, I should really ask them if they drink coffee or tea, or I should really go through the script. But you don't do it, right? Because you feel those butterflies in your stomach, or you get really, really nervous. But that feeling that you think is fear is actually adrenaline. It's adrenaline. And the only way to cure that adrenaline is to step forward and actually do what you need to do. Because what feels worse? Even if the person says no or whatever, right? If you push through that fear or that adrenaline and you ask the question anyway, and you bring up the coffee or the opportunity anyway, it feels like a release. It's like, I did it. I said it. It feels so much better. But if you walk back out in the parking lot and you don't say anything, you feel terrible. You're like, damn it, I wish I would have said something. The feeling of regret of not pushing through that fear is way worse every single time, 10 times out of 10, okay? It's worse than actually pushing through it and saying or doing what you need to say or do. So I started forcing myself that no matter how uncomfortable I felt, I was just going to say what I needed to say. No matter how stupid I thought I was going to sound or look, I just did it anyway. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And now I'm at the point where I don't even care what somebody says to me anymore. I really don't. I don't care if they say yes. I don't care if they say no. I'm just looking for people that are looking for what we have, right? And if they're not looking for what we have, I'm on to the next person. So you just have to do it anyway, is the answer. Because even if that outcome doesn't turn out the way that you want it to, it's still going to feel so much better than if you walk away and you don't do it. Does that make sense? So 4 minutes to website training, guys. I got to wrap this call up. So have a good one. Thank you for joining me on this training. I hope that you guys got some value out of it. And I will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Jen.
That was
you.
so great.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Jerry.
So good.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
tips.
you.